Okay, sorry about that. I was in the wrong app and get the face tracker going, make my life a little bit easier here. So I have to keep playing with the buttons. Still loading. Okay, now it should work. There we go. All right. See? DJI Gimbal 3 stabilizer, in case you're wondering. It's awesome. Yeah. So let me just show you what I'm looking at. Wow. Let me see. See all that? See all that in the background? Isn't that dope? That's so dope. Yeah. It's really interesting, right? Because like there's people that live there their whole lives that they kind of just like look at me weird when I'm like, oh, this place is awesome. I think that's just an example of like, you know, I think we all at some point in our lives hate where we come from and we want to see something different. And for me especially, like I love those movies where it always has like the grand shots, the grand dramatic like landscape shots, where you have like the mountains that are like thousands of feet in the air, kind of like these ones, exactly like these ones actually. And you can see like the clouds rolling off it. You know, there's something about that. I love it because like you talk about the weather, you live in the weather obviously, but when you see a change in the weather coming towards you, when it's a sunny day and you're literally watching these clouds roll over the mountains, or like, because some of the mountains they dip, right? Like they'll have the peak and then they'll like dip down, and then you'll see the what's it called, like you'll see the clouds coming through, and then it all gets dark, it starts raining, whatever. But then as they move away from the mountains, one of the first things you see when the sun breaks the cloud is it shining on the mountaintops. And like I'll bring my camera to work tomorrow. I'll try to grab a couple shots for you guys. It depends on how busy we are, so like no guaranteed promises on that one. Just because like I'm still getting started at the job and I just want to make sure I'm really good at it. Like everything's automatic, just so you know I'm not causing any problems for any of the boys. Yeah, no, it's something about places like this. Like when you're from urban areas, when you're from the city, it's so easy to scoff at spiritualities, at the concept of like guardianship, I guess. Just because, you know, everything you look at in a city is like a right angle or some kind of like elaborate building built like a couple hundred years ago by like some big architecture, or it's just an utter destitute place. You know, there's not much. There's not much in the city to find. Sorry, like I said, bear season. There's not much in the city where you can find any connections to nature like you would here. I'm walking past a path. And, yeah. Just thought I felt something, heard something rubbing up on something. But yeah. But when you get out here to places like this, you feel something different. When the air is just, there's no weight to it. You just breathe it in, goes out. Doesn't taste like dirt. Doesn't taste like gas or oil fumes. It doesn't taste like, I'm sounding like a hippie here, aren't I? I really am. But like, it's just me trying to explain, like, you know, once you get out to places like this and you plan on staying for an indeterminate amount of time, and you start to appreciate it, you let the walls come down and you kind of just let it all seep into you. You start to understand. It's not me saying that like all of a sudden I'm like this big hippie guy that's just out here rocking out, you know, growing all the hair out, putting the dread. Legalize it. Sorry, legal. No, I'm just saying that, you know, developing an appreciation for the world at its most raw, its most basic, means coming to a place like this. Yeah. This, really was a rough year, rough 2 years, rough couple of years actually. I'll get into that more at another time. But coming out here, I've always wanted to come to a place like this. One, the employment opportunities are way better. Training opportunities more available. Those are dogs, thank God. Oh, that scared the hell out of me. That actually scared the hell out of me. Hopefully they scare away the bears. But yeah, like I was saying, actually, I'll wait till I get past the dogs. You think I'm a bear. I think if a bear tries to catch me right now, I think my best hope is that they see me as a fellow bear and they either want to hang out or mate. I really hope they don't want to mate. I don't know what to do about that. But yeah, it's not bad, really. Walk around places like this. Yeah, you see where people are building shit. Ah, I swore again. Damn. Sorry about that. I'll try to bleep that out. Yeah. These dogs are still Paparonis. Oh, they're adorable. Oh, I almost walked straight into a puddle. Oh. Yeah, so yeah, you basically got here, someone's driving by. And then, yeah, it's not so bad. They don't live there at that house. These dogs are still going. But their tails were wagging, so I hope that means that, like, hey, they're like, hey, we want to come hang out, not like, hey, we want to eat you. I hope so. Really hope so. And you've got to be kidding me, bro. Like, come on. We're like, I think we're maybe, they're following me on the fence now. But the, no, I can't hang out, guys. I actually want to hang out with them. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe if I ever run into the owners, I'll ask them, like, hey, would anybody like a dog walker? Because I need bodyguards. Let me show you this one. Dude, like, wow. Yeah, like I was saying. Yeah, like I always knew that in order to get back to who I am, in order to stop with all the drinking and the weed smoking and all that, and I'm not judging anybody for doing it, all I'm saying here is I have a very unhealthy relationship with those kind of things because I use them more as a self-medication technique rather than like a feel-good, you know, like I hang out with the boys and smoke something and play some video games, stuff like that, you know, like that's, for me personally, that's the appropriate setting, at least for me to do those kind of things. But I was using it as like a, yeah, self-medication. And it got pretty bad financially. Like health-wise, definitely, but you recover from that because thank God, you know, I wasn't going too hard. You know, definitely some damage to the liver and kidneys. Like I'm not sitting here being like, oh, I'm 100% healthy. But you know, not as bad as it could have been. I'm not like Iggy Pop or Keith Richards. Yeah. Sorry, I kind of got off track there. I started thinking about Keith Richards, and I wanted to go on a tangent about how I can't believe he's still alive. And I forgot what I was doing. They're still going. It's pretty cool for sound travels around here. Yeah, what was I saying? Unhealthy relationship. Oh, and financially, yeah. I was spending at one point like probably like almost $1,000. And I know some people are sitting there going like, well, that's like, you know, it's like 30 or something like that, like a 26 or 40. I was buying like cheap stuff, you know, like I was buying old style Pilsners for like $2.20 a can at like, yeah, just spend like a bunch of money. And I wasn't buying food or like food repetitively. And I started like, the funny thing to me, like I was kind of trying hard not to laugh. Like when I stopped buying so much booze and I like got a healthy relationship or started trying to develop a healthy relationship, I realized how much money I actually had. Like, I'm not like, I wasn't rich or anything. It was just one of those things where I was like, oh, so for the price of a bottle of wine and one of those little shots of vodka, I could have got everything I needed to make enough flatbread pizza for like 4 or 5 days, you know? And that was one of the things that made me realize that I was looking at booze and weed the way I should have been looking at food. You know, you look at food and you're like, you know, how much can I get for the cheapest? And how long is it going to go for? You want food to go for a long time. I was doing that with booze. But the difference between, the one difference here is that I wasn't thinking about, oh, let's make it last for a couple of days. The goal was to get as intoxicated as possible. And yeah, I did. I have to say that my goal of being a professional drunk and weed smoker was a resounding success. I did really good at it. Pride. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, you meet these people that they have this wavelength or like this kind of brain that can just take a pounding from intoxicants and not even blink. You know, everybody knows somebody where you watch them pound back like a 2-4 beer and enough whiskey to kill a horse. But they're up before you the next day and it looks like they just got back from the gym. Speaking of the gym, I need to find one. Oh, how long have I been walking for? I've probably been walking for 10 minutes. I'm already out here dying. Like, come on. What is that? Yeah. The most tempting thing here that I'm trying to resist is, tell me this is a beer can. Oh, it's a root beer can. Somebody was being responsible here. I'm actually gonna grab that. I should be out here. Might be one of the loggers that threw it out. Because up here, like, there's a certain point, like a certain elevation where it's just all government land. So the loggers come in and take all that stuff and they do stuff with it. I don't know anything about lumber. I know that lumber is a synonym for the hockey stick. And when you say, oh, they can't handle the lumber, that means that they can't handle the fact that we're checking wood and all. That's all I know about forestry, is the metaphors from the industry that are used in the hockey world. That's it. Hey, look at this. It's probably a weed, but looks cool. That's cool. I don't know what that is. Somebody wants to figure it out and tell me. That'll be dope. Get the face track back on. Oh, wait, I gotta go down here. There we go, we're good. Yeah. This is pretty cool. I'm kind of worried though that I'm getting a little too far away from people. Which is never something I thought I'd say. But I mean, like, people out here. And that's the other thing too. That's the biggest difference that I've seen so far. Is the quality of the genuity when someone's genuine in the people out here. You know, when they smile at you, they smile, and they're actually real. You know, there's no. You can tell when somebody's grumpy and they don't want to talk, or they just walk right by. Don't say shit. You're like, all right, cool. I just swore again. Damn it. Sorry. I'll work on that. Yeah. Sorry. That hurts on the walking. Because apparently there are mountain lions up here. And I love cats, but I don't think that kind of cat will love me. Except for dinner. Actually, right now it's kind of like a late brunch. Yeah. Oh. Somebody's coming back. Ooh. And a white claw can. Jesus. And I swore again. Sorry. My roommate's gonna love me when I get back. He's like, yo, bud, brought some cans. Because he likes to take the cans to, like Calgary or something like that. because it's different out here too. So bottle collection is also cool. Honestly, the differences between people and how people live their lives as separated by regions, religions, or whatever is the best part of life to me. If you can find the good people that are willing to express themselves and their views healthily while not dismissing your own. But yeah, it's not bad. Not bad, bud. You heard that, right? That wasn't just me. Oh, the ground's pretty low. The ground's not such a dip there, so I could walk that way, but I don't know anything about poison ivy or nothing. So, I'm not trying to die. Wow, look at that. Not wild. Ooh. And back to me. There we go, bud. Is it okay that I'm puffing like this? Is it? I don't know. I don't know much about fitness, to be honest with you. Like, when I would go to the gym, it would just be like, you know, me, man, lift heavy. Look good for people. Throwing up like the 50-pound weights and like the shoulder raise. Like, ah! Didn't really work, to be honest with you. I'd go home and just drink chocolate milk and eat pizza, so all the work I was doing wasn't really work. So it's just a waste of time. Oh, hey, so here's some ground that goes above. What is that? I just saw some blue jays. Yeah, something felt weird there. And I think we reached the limit of today's tour, and I think we're gonna head home. Something just didn't feel right. Yeah, we're gonna head home. I forgot my razor back in Ontario, so like I'm gonna get a little bushy. Like, you can see like my forehead there. Look at that. The unibrow. Ooh, I'm trying to get you guys there so the sun's not in your face. Oh, there we go. I was holding the gimbal. Weird. That's the annoying, not the annoying part. It's just the thing about gimbals that's hard to get used to. Is like if you're holding it straight up, you're good. You got the full range of motion. But if you like even slightly move it, you're kind of screwing yourself there. Check this out. Get the camera there. Like, come on. And back to me. The camera shouldn't be on anything but me. There is there's a path down there that's marked off with orange flags. I know it's down there. Looks like there's you know what? We'll save that for the next video. What is that? maybe somebody off is using like some farming equipment or something. That's the other thing too. There's farms up here on the mountain. I was blown away. Mostly like cattle farms, and there's a couple horse farms, and then there's one guy with llamas. I think that's for tax breaks. It's like, if you're a farmer or something like that, there's tax breaks you can get. I mean, you consider like in the agricultural sector. But yeah, there's llamas. You don't really do anything with llamas except look at them. I don't think anybody's ever eaten a llama. Kind of sounds like one of those taboo things. They're adorable. I wouldn't eat them. Anybody who's hungry enough will eat anything. Let's be honest. Oops, sorry, actually, there's the sun on your face there. Turning around a bend here, so it'll get a little bit better. Oh, the guy that this is actually pretty cool. So like the power lines you see right there, you saw it, and you saw it again. But the power lines up on the mountain were put up by a guy named Tom, who's 90 years old and lives across the way from us, because we actually live on what used to be his land. He parceled it off and he sold off some of it. Which is kind of sad. You know? I don't know. Well, it's cool that more people get to enjoy the space up here. I don't know. It's just one of those things that like was in his family for a very long time. And yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's just, there's something sad about it. It just seems like the ending of something that I don't really understand. So maybe I shouldn't be sad about it. I don't know. Yeah. I wonder what it's like to just walk over a space and know that it's yours. You know, nobody can take it from you. The only way you lose it is if you give it up. Or if you do something that makes you unworthy of having it. Which isn't just related to property, that's related to relationships as well. You know, you should always have people that you love in your life as long as you respect it. And as long as they respect you. It all comes down to Aretha Franklin, boys. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. And that's the other interesting too, because, wait, no, I already did that. I already talked about that in the last one. See, I'm already backtracking. That's the ADHD for you, bud. Yeah, he put up all these. Him and his, I think it was like, yeah, because he's got like 4 companies. That's the other cool thing about being out in a place like this. You're smart enough with your money. Smart enough with your money, a little ambitious, a little innovative. Pretty creative. You can end up owning, 4 or 5 different income streams. Like I know there's one guy that like he's down about halfway down the mountain from us, and he's got a construction business. He rents out his Bobcat, and he's got a car compactor. So like that's capitalism to me, Not like Walmart charging so much money. Not Walmart, sorry, they're not the worst. Sobeys. It's the price gouging. It's the weirdest thing to me. Like we live in this era of like subscriptions and fees, where before you could buy something and own it, but now it's like oh, that's the sound of the cans in my pocket. But you can own it, but nowadays it's like you can only rent it, and you're constantly paying more money than you will in the long term as if you could just buy it. It's just insane. Like for me, I really found that in like what's it called? Like the here they go again. But the like in not music software, kind of. I like the streaming. I don't like what it's done to the music industry. Because I feel like the people who invented Spotify are patting themselves a little too hard on the back and taking the lion's share of the earnings, which is insane to me. For subscription, for platforms like that, like I think the best creators for those kind of things would be the people that are like, this is what it is. This is how you can get your stuff out. And that's really cool, the feeding the sheep. That's dope. Look at these fuckers. Man, I just swore again, damn it. Yeah. other than that. But the so creators of like streaming services, like definitely take something for it, but like recognize the fact that you created a platform. Yes, you deserve money. Yes, you deserve acclaim. You did something great. You did something innovative, but you're not creating the content itself. Like you're managing the traffic, you're like repairing the broken bits of code that just happens when it comes to, anything technological that involves like coding and computing. I'm sorry, I should have been more specific there. But yeah, you're not Rihanna. You're not Coldplay. Coldplay was actually, I like Coldplay. I'm not even gonna try to defend that. I love Coldplay. Once there was a girl, she expected the world, but it flew away from her reach. So she ran away in her sleep. Called it Paradise. I love that song. I think we all do that sometimes. When we start to lose hope. Just run away to paradise in our dreams. Yeah, what was I saying before? Yeah, like they're not Rihanna, they're not those guys, so or maybe chill out a little bit. Well, whatever. Nobody's ever gonna listen to me. I'm some dude on a mountain, remember? Isn't that the best part right now? My opinions don't matter. I love it. They don't have to. I don't want them to. Are those Blue Jays? I don't think I've ever seen so many Blue Jays at one time. Those are Blue Jays. I think so. I actually don't really know that much about birds. I know what cardinals look like because they're red. But for Blue Jays, like there's a couple different blue birds. Did you guys know there's blue penguins? New Zealand, they got blue penguins. They're blue the full way, even to the eyes. It is insane. Gorgeous. Gorgeously insane. I'd go to New Zealand. That'd be dope. I like how they handled COVID. Locking it down. It's pretty solid. These dogs are going again. No, stop making me want to hang out. The pupperoni. Hi, puppers. Here's a golden retriever, another one. I don't know anything about dogs either. I think the best part about growing up, when you actually grow up, is you start to realize where you always want to have an answer to everything, but you eventually just realize, hi. But eventually you realize that you're just like, no, that's not a golden retriever. That one can't even see me. But I think the one thing that you really do when you grow up is you start to just admit to yourself and everybody else, like, oh, I don't know anything about that. And a lot of times you just don't care about knowing about it. It doesn't matter. And like when you use the words, it doesn't matter. Like, it usually has a negative connotation to it. You're like, oh, it doesn't matter. I don't matter, blah, blah, blah. But like, no, it can be taken that way. And a lot of times it's meant that way when people are like, oh, it doesn't matter, or you don't matter. They mean it like that. But when you start telling yourself that, what is that? It's just a big break in the bushes there. Oh, it's a pathway. I'm not going down there. I'm not going down there. Not a chance. Not without like bear spray and, some kind of. Maybe I was thinking about getting one of those like pepper spray pellet guns. Let's see if I can get you back up here. There we go. Sorry, I'm keeping you down here just because the sun's blasting out. Like maybe one of those pepper spray pellet guns, just in case something comes. Hit it with a little whack. It's not gonna hurt it, but they'll know that they got hit with something, and then it'll burn their eyes, and then if they're not hungry enough, they'll run. And if they don't have rabies, they'll run. Hopefully. But if they get close enough to see the whites in my eyes, they will know I am scared, and they will know that, yeah, they got me. I'm not gonna act like I know how to fight a bear. Oh, it's a fallen tree. I thought it looks like a piece of fence. It? No. Is that a fallen? That is a piece of fence. Okay, so the property comes all the way down here. That's so cool. That's so cool. Still going. You see the gimbal gets off track when the sun shines into it. That's a good lesson. Never shine your camera directly at the sun. It will ruin the sensors. I have learned the hard way. Oh, there we go. See, that's why I keep going. Oh, yeah, back to make dinner. Yeah, it's pretty early out here for it's pretty early for dinner, but like I get up at like 3 in the morning. It's pretty good. You know, you work hard at my job. You start at 4. Sorry, you start at like 5, but I get there at 4:30. And the job is relatively straightforward. You do the same thing, and you just try to get faster at it. That's it. Get faster at it. So when the get faster in the prep and setup and the cleanup, and then when it comes time to do the job again, do the work again, you're just flying. It's a joke. Yeah, I gotta learn this lesson though. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's get the sun on again. Yeah, I tore up my hands today. It's my second day on the job and second day in this industry, so this kind of stuff's to be expected. I sliced open the back of my leg too. I didn't tell anybody. I wasn't too worried about it. That's kind of the thing that happens when you experience a lot of emotional pain and physical pain. It's nothing. It hurts. It's annoying. It burns when you go to put like the stuff on it. But yeah, it's nothing really. It's not the end. It's not the end of the world because that pain will go away. Everything else, what's in your heart, what's in your soul, it doesn't. You just learn to live with it. And you learn to make sure that it's concentrated in one area so you still have, the rest of you. It's kind of like it's keeping the poison in one place. Yeah, dude, look at this one. What? Like, seriously? Like, I live here, bro. Like, I live here. That's crazy to me. I live here. And this is actually pretty sick, too. Because if you see, so, like, this is kind of the same thing that happens. Let me get me out of the frame there. It's kind of the same thing that happens. If you look over there, you'll see those bald patches. So we have the same ones here because that's the foresters or the arborists or the tree guys. And yeah, you can see just like the swaths that they took out. And you could even see like how they cut their way in there. That's awesome, actually. And then even if you look close enough too, like here, actually, I'll try to show you. No, I'll try to get my better camera out. I'll take some pictures and I'll show you. But yeah, once you look out there too, you could see where they cut down before and where it's growing back. It's pretty interesting. I wonder how they do that. Like, I wonder how they decide what goes when. Yeah. I want to get to the top of one of these sometime. Because apparently the clouds form right above them, and the cloud, like I said before, the clouds roll right over them. I want to know what it's like just to sit there and watch a cloud just come. Kind of like that scene in, like, what was it, like season 7 of Game of Thrones, which, by the way, ew. I'm a book elitist, I'll admit it. Yeah, like when the fog hits and the White Walkers are like, ugh. And then they're like, oh, they got giants, and you're like, of course they got giants. Ugh. Kind of like season 7 and season 8 of Game of Thrones feels like Kevin Feige from Marvel came in and took over. That's what it felt like to me. Stilted writing. And you could tell the actors were really confined by the directions they were given. And you could tell that it played into how frustrated they were because you see the interviews going into season 8. Like, everybody on that cast was like, ugh. Yeah. And they're trying to correct it with having George R.R. Martin on the writing staff or production team of House of the Dragon. But, like, they're writing from what's supposed to be a textbook. Fire and Blood is just a textbook on Westeros after the conquest of the Targaryens, which basically is just like he wrote the history behind his own world. That's really just what happened there, and yeah, that's what went down. I think I saw one of the old boys driving by there. July driving by me. I don't know who that guy is. Yeah. All right, I am home. So, oh, right, yeah, so sorry, let me just finish that before I get going. Yes, Fire and Blood's a textbook, and he's writing out of it from a textbook, and it's a really good writing. Like, I read it myself, I like it. It's just hard to make a comprehensive TV show off of it, because you really got to make up a lot. See here, you can see this. This is another cool thing. Actually, let me just turn this off. Turn the gimbal tracking off. Come on, stay still. Stay still. There we go. So this is actually really cool. So this is where our water comes from. So in a lot of cases, you know, in the city and stuff, they pull from a close lake, they pull from the underground, and they it gets pumped in your house, you use it, and then it gets treated and basically recycled and pumped back in. That's how I understand it. Here, it's not. That's our water. You know, that's mine and my roommates. And buddy, he's actually pretty dope. I don't know how to describe it. For men, we just, you know, we got our buddies, and we just call them whatever. They're our buddies. But yeah, so for us, like, that's just where our water comes from. And the coolest thing is that if you look at it, you'll see how just pure it is. It's actually amazing. Like, look at that. You can see right to the bottom. Honestly, it's like it's not even there. Like, that's awesome. Oh. Yeah, I will see you guys later. Let me just bring this back over, because now I don't have the auto track on, so I gotta do it all myself. And yeah. Not bad, huh? All right, see you guys next time.